I bet.
I like that Honduran cigar, the spirits rise. Smoke curling like ancestors whispering in the skies. Dr. Sebi in my left ear saying heal from inside. This ain't no new land, we the ones they try to deny. Before Columbus ever dreamed the ship steered, we was building mounds, doing rituals with no fear. From Yucatan to Galveston, New Orleans near. That's the triangle of soul, but the map been clear. Second lines ain't parades, that's ancestral rights. Tambourines and feathers under full moonlight. We ain't immigrants now, we the original might. Built pyramids and bone flutes before Rome took flight. Topcatz said it loud, stop begging for permission. Our culture ain't missing, it's just deep in tradition. We ain't African cause they told us we remember the mission. The land speaks Creole, soul food and intuition. We been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. And the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing true through the pain and the tears. Granny sat me down, roll something slow. Said when you puff, give thanks, let the cosmos know. I inhale the jungle, exhale the flow. Spitting stories that the textbook still scared to show. Cigar lit like a torch from ancient rites. Aromas like prayers to the Orishas at night. New Orleans ain't a tourist tale, it's black divine. Where the jazz horns been time and the spirits align. Forget Columbus, we was dancing in stars. Trading turquoise, dripping culture in bars. Drums talking codes, spirits moving cars. Look close, the past ain't gone, it's just behind these stars. From Congo Square to Trammy porches, we built this land, no need for endorsements. The Mardi Gras beads ain't just for decor. That's soul armor, homie, we was gods before war. We been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing true through the pain and here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing true through the pain and the tears. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing true through the pain and the tears.
Hey y'all, right, can y'all hear us, man? Can you hear me out there, man? Yo, check 1 2. Hey, can y'all hear the crowd? Is it chopping you up or something?
You hear me?
This shit crazy, man. Can y'all hear me? What? Man, this that bullshit here.
You can't hear me?
Hear nothing. Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo.
You can hear me?
Mic check, man.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you see me?
Yo.
You can see me?
What the fuck? This is crazy. Hold on, man. Hold on. What the? Yo.
Peace. What's up with it? Tap it in. Hey, y'all drop a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Peace to the family. Peace to the tribe. Hey, y'all drop a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Okay, they appreciate you, Zaka. Buck say they dropping 1s. Hey, drop a 1 if y'all can hear Elder.
Can y'all hear me on this one? Yo.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I had to switch to my damn phone, man. Let this damn thing just froze up on me. But you still streaming on your page, right?
I don't know. I don't know. It don't even matter.
I just went to your page. It's screaming. It's screaming. It's still screaming.
So okay.
I think you screaming on your page too. So now you can hear me, okay. man. Y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. We had a couple of technical difficulties getting started. We're gonna have this shit lined out next time when we come back on. So cause we're trying to link them on both pages so we can go live on at the same time. I think it's doing it, but we're gonna make sure we have it worked out next time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. We got Topcatz in the building from Houston, man. We about to get ready to go in on this Cherokee breakdown, man. It's a lot of people going around right now, and the main promotion is the Cherokee. The Cherokee, they the main guys getting all the recognition. They the main guys, you know. They bullying guys. We hearing about the Cherokee Nation, man. They really going and doing things. Allegedly they got some land back. You know what I'm saying? They done roughed a couple guys up, got some land. Man, we need to figure out what's going on with these chicks because people saying they $5 Indians. They saying we dealing with $5 Indians running the Cherokee Nation at this point, and that this all fraud. The whole setup is a fraud, man. So what do we get started on this, man? How do the Cherokee Nation come about? Because it seemed like to me it's some kind of way a switch happened, a fraud happened. Well, they didn't got switched over to the $5 Indian, man. The $5 Indians running that setup now up in North Carolina. What you got on that, Top?
Yeah, you know, that's real interesting. The Cherokee are the most populated tribe here. I think outside of the Southwest tribes, you know, when you hear Cherokee, you think down south. And that because a lot of people from down south, you bump into them, you know, I'm Cherokee. But the truth of the matter, Cherokee are not even from down south. The Cherokee got their power because of their assistance in creating the United States. So when the United States was created, that was the first time we even heard of a Cherokee, and these people that was called Cherokee created their government simultaneously with the U.S. So they are from upper New York. They're from the Northeast, you know, near the Canadian border in New York. But the Cherokee, before they were a government, well, they came out of a government, an established government that was ancient, that a lot of the U.S. took their principles from, far as democracy. The Iroquois, the Haudenosaunee. So that's the difference. So we talk about the 5 civilized tribes, 1791 George Washington Civilization Plan. Well, now this is for the South. This is the U.S. expanding out of the 13 colonies coming down into the South. And the Cherokee, they're going to base everybody off of geography. So they needed the Choctaw for distribution and commercial use on the Mississippi, the Ghetto Pass. Get me in there, man. Don't let them niggas touch me or take my shit. On the other side, they had you got the Cherokee who in Georgia made a stance down in Georgia Alabama area and caught Ada, and that's how they're gonna push their line. And then in the 1830s, they're go on the Indian Removal Act. They're going to Trail of Tears and end up in Oklahoma. The Wild Wild West, where a lot of their top officials who signed the treaties, what they known in history as the Treaty Party, they were assassinated, mafia style. Yeah,
damn, that's cold, boy.
Mafia style, And when I say mafia style, I say that because it was a coordinated hit. The Cherokee put down the rule, and that rule, they came out of Chief Pontiac after the 7-year war. Chief Pontiac, shout out to Uncle Rod Hayes. Chief Pontiac put together what they call in history a pan-Indian alliance. This pan-Indian allegiance brought in different tribes out of the Ohio River Valley, niggas from Kentucky, niggas out of Tennessee, and they pushed it down into Georgia and Florida. This the stronghold. This where the muscle has always been. These are ancient people. So Pontiac led that. Then the youngsters behind him followed suit. Well, out of them youngsters, it was a guy named John McDonough. He was a British Indian agent. He sold them guns and all that, traded with the Indians down in Tennessee. One day, his nigga was going to go run the play. He nigga named Daniel Rouse. And we find him on the records. He was captured at POW in the Protestant Wars, the Protestant and Catholic Wars. This is the Jacobites, the defenders of the Stuart kings, the melanated kings of England, the ones who started the colonies, who gave all King James, Stuart of the Bible, his family. So John McDonough meet him. He on his way to go run a play with the Choctaws. So he get jacked. So they jack him. This the Chickamauga. These the youngsters. He had a storefront, and they used to hang out in front of his store, little youngsters. Dragon Canoe, Double Head, all of them. Now they're gonna be instrumental because the Moors and the Sephardic Jews from the Iberian Peninsula are gonna marry into this bloodline. So that's why we get a lot of this Moorish talk in Cherokee. But we'll get to that in the build. But this guy, John McDonough, let Daniel Rouse marry his daughter. Their son will become the principal chief of the Cherokee for 40 years. His name is John Rouse. In history, they tell you he blonde hair, blue eyes. That's not true. Daniel Rouse on his records is listed as a melanated man. He married a Cherokee woman who also was melanated. So we'll go through the sources or whatever to put it up. We'll figure out if I can get the screen to show. But yeah, they just to start it off, the Cherokee are not from the South. They are a military branch that formed into a government with their U.S. allies. And they're the most populated, but only less than 200 people speak the Cherokee language. And I'm going to tell you something. If anybody feel like they speak in Cherokee today, it's absolutely wrong. And we're going to source that up too, because since the 1700s, they already knew they didn't understand the meanings of they didn't understand the meanings of the language. The languages was been lost in the 1700s. So yeah, we'll start there. But Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, especially, Texas is deep because you had Chief Bowles come down here in the 1790s. They wanted to go to Arkansas. They ended up in Louisiana. Just chopping it up between us. They had a dispute. A nigga tried to, tax him on something they was trying to get. And he telling them, hey, man, I can go around the corner and get this for that. And nigga like, well, shit, go around the corner. They get on Indian time and, take it a little too far. They take everything in the middle of that. They end up under the live in the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Shit go down. But Well, I think 2 of they men got hit too, though.
Gone bad.
Drug deal gone bad. Man, it went bad. You feel me? I can't do business. Nigga put extra tax on me because you know me. So shit, I'm just gonna take everything. You know, it went up a melee, but they ended up unaliving the dude. They ended up having to go to court back in Tennessee. They won their case. They made their way to East Texas. There they battled a Confederacy in the North called the Caddos, the Caddo Confederation, who is a part of the Mississippian Empire. Yeah, they out of East Texas. They got a mound out there. Yeah, they got a mound out there and everything. I've been to it. Cherokee County. My grandma, my second great grandma, one of my second great grandma was buried in Cherokee County. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
the Caddo, they got a Caddo parish in Louisiana.
Yeah, yeah. Because they was the same, they the same people.
Yeah, the Caddo and the Coshada people, yeah.
Yeah, the Caddo, they are confederations. So in Texas during the revolutions, the Indian Wars, everybody from the north all came down. You had Nacogdoches, which served as a spy, and right there you have the El Camino road. It's 3 different routes that'll take you out of Texas directly straight to Mexico. And they have one right there that was a trading post, and then you had what's called Jasper, Texas, down in east, right down the coast of the borderline of Louisiana. And that was another hub for Indians. And you know, that's why the first reservation, 1855, was put.
Man, why they hate my bad? Why they hate Negroes so much in Jasper, man? I went through Jasper.
It ain't really like that. It ain't really like that. We overpopulated them. Okay, again, because this was a trading, this was an Indian trading site. Meaning, so with Louisiana during the cotton boom era, they couldn't. Texas outlawed slavery. You don't want to come into Texas. You can't call the sheriff. Yeah, you can't call the bounty hunter. Ain't nobody bad enough coming in Texas. They busting their pills. They quick with the gun in Texas. And you got multiple Indians. You gotta think about it. These are a lot of people who are already in persecution because certain border lines are now coming statehood, and U.S. occupancy there, union there. So you can be free, get to Texas. So when they got to Texas, a lot of them migrated in that point, and they a band. They fought together. So Florida and Texas, they talk about revolts and revolution. Florida and Texas. Louisiana got busy too. Mississippi was the hardest to take because that was, that's Mama Mississippi, that big mama. But Texas, Mama freedom. You get to Texas, you get your freedom, and you got a whole lot of pistol slingers down there, and they good on horseback, yeah, and they good from marksmanship, yeah. So yeah, that's how
Comanche. The Comanche and the Apache think them motherfuckers badass.
Man, it was so many that like down here we got the Caruncles, Houston area where I'm from, Fifth Ward, this guy on TikTok, he shared a video in Fifth Ward, and it's a plaque up that said in the 1800s, they say Fifth Ward was created in 1865 as like a freedman town. But before that, it was American Indian strong point. Now it was strong because one of the largest ports in the world is the Port of Houston. You got New Orleans next door. So we talking about commercial trade. Commercial means not domestic, but commercial. But we also had streams and things through there, like the Coshada. They built streams and canals, and they were building ship making. So the Spanish, when they came into Texas, because we from Alabama, when we got into Texas though, the skill we had, the Spanish needed it. So yeah, they gave we was able to set up shop there 1803, they got to Louisiana and set up shop. Yeah.
Now, hey, back to the Cherokees, man, because we see a pattern here where they began backdooring a lot of the tribes. They backdoored the Creeks. They backdoored the Yamasee. The Yamasee. Could you get into that to the Yamasee? Because I see it's a place where they backdoored the Yamasee, and then they backdoored the Creeks. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why would they backdooring all the tribes? Well, they was an offshoot tribe. Go ahead.
They with us. You feel me? The Cherokee come from New York. Hold on, let's see if we get the join up. Hold on.
Yeah, put up. I'll lock in.
Yeah, let's see if we get the PowerPoint up. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hey man, if you're here, please tap that like button. Tap the like button if you're in the building. And share the video out to all your social media platforms, man. All right.
Yeah.
Let me know if I'm up, if you can see me.
Yeah.
I'm up there. Okay, bet. All right. So right here, we got poverty point. I want to paint a picture, right? Because geography is super important. Why? Because when you had Franz Boas, you had people like Swayton, these people, and the Smithsonian, which we get into that information as well concerning the Cherokee, because they helped the Cherokee tremendously. But I want to paint this picture in the geography because a lot of these tribes, we call them tribes, especially for our civilized tribes, the largest the South is, they're saying there's only 5 tribes that are occupying it. They're not tribes, they're governmental bodies in certain geographical areas that they control, and they hold a relationship, government to government relationship with the U.S. So if you want to be a U.S. citizen, you can sign, but if you're outside of that jurisdiction, then you would have, and you want any benefits as the Indian, you would have to sign up, depending on what area of geography you're in, you would have to sign up with the government, that 5 governments that was built in that era. You feel you have to sign up to one of them to get any type of benefits, which most of our people didn't, because I mean, we got 400 acres, man. We don't need nobody. You feel me? So right here, we're at poverty point. This is Louisiana, one of the most prehistoric in North America. So a lot of people heard the story of Atlantis. They say Mexico City was built in the image of, I went to Mexico City, they didn't have no water. I said, okay, this ain't it. This place came up, Poverty Point. Again, I said, where's the water? But Poverty Point was so instrumental because they ran the copper trade. They copper trade went up to Mississippi. I'm walking somewhere with this. It went up to the Mississippi, Wisconsin, and they mined it copper out of these areas. They will go on to Europe and build the first highly advanced civilization there, and they'll be known as the Minoans, or what people call the purple people. These would be the same people that go off and build ancient Crete, ancient Tyre. Also, the Phoenicians. Now, this same dye is used down in the East America as well as the Yucatan by the Mayans. So, right here, we're going to build it up. You got Ohio. There's a lot of places they look over. So, we're going to go through different areas right here. Another prehistoric Mississippi Valley. They estimated the number of mounds at 10,000. Elder.
Damn.
A 10 ball. Enclosed villages, caches around 1,500, making the total number of earthworks in Ohio more than 1,100. That's Ohio by itself. So when they say Ohio, everybody, yeah, Ohio is another ancient place that don't get it credit. But when we see the mafia and all these niggas here, and you know, let's go back in the day and see why they had to take the economics out of that. Because this is one of our strongholds. So you had different eras in time. Like they talk about BC, AD, and Iron Age, Bronze Age, all of these type of things when they talk about history on the other side of the world. Well, here we had the Woodland era. This the Pinson mounds right here, which they got a 72 feet mound. That's the second highest in the U.S. But I want to show this right here. This, if you notice, all of these are mounds. We're going to get into the mound building. Then we're going to go down to the Mississippi culture. You had the Oneida culture. This northern Illinois, western Michigan, and Wisconsin. Listen to me. And when you look at their football programs or what they do up there, this is ancient. So when them rivals, they got them in Notre Dame, them niggas out of Indiana, and now, right. Oh, this is ancient. Yeah, this is ancient warfare. Say, but in what Michigan State, what state mascot? Michigan State. The Spartans.
The Spartans. Yeah.
Bars. Yeah, the Spartans. So walk with me. And I just told y'all, Wisconsin, they have an elephant effigy mound there. So look up the elephant effigy mound that's there. Now, these people out of Mexico going to be coming up here because the Mayans also have elephant trunks on different buildings, different sites, and also in I had to find out where exactly it's located. But you had Fort Ancient Culture. That was Central Ohio, Northeastern Kentucky, Southern Ohio, Southern West Virginia, Southern Indiana. Then you got the Magella. They was in Pennsylvania, Northwest Virginia, and Eastern Ohio. I'm building it up. It's gonna make sense in a second. Then you got Western Basin. That's Indiana, Northeast Indiana, Northwest Ohio, Southwest Michigan. Then you got the Appalachian. That's Upper East Tennessee, Western North Carolina, Southwest Virginia. Why did I bring all of this up? Because this is going to be what is the Mississippi culture. And we just named a few tribes. We didn't hear nothing about Cherokee. Now, later on in the story, all these places we just named are going to, out of nowhere, become Cherokee. But they're not there. They're not here in the ancient times. So they walk. So you got the Mississippi culture. The Mississippi covering Southern Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Arkansas, Tennessee, the Cumberland, and Middle Tennessee. The 13 colonies, upper colony, New England area, they can't come past the Cumberland. You come past the Cumberland if you want to. You better be a bad motherfucker. And you better have a bunch of bad motherfuckers with you. You come across that Cumberland. We look at it as 50 states today, but these were different countries back then. And they had different rules. All right, let's push off. We got Cahokia. We know Cahokia. That's in Illinois right there. It's on the east of the Mississippi River, St. Louis, Missouri. You feel me? You got Palenque, Mississippi culture. That's Arkansas, eastern Louisiana, southwestern Mississippi. You got the Emerald Mounds down there in Natchez. You feel me? That's the second behind Monk's Mound. You got the Caddoan Mississippian culture. That's East Oklahoma, West Arkansas, Northeastern Texas, Northwest Louisiana. And see, this one I was saying I didn't want to click out and go to the videos because I would have went there and showed us there. But it's cool. We'll bounce out. Now, you got Moundsville in Alabama. Tuscaloosa, right south of the Tuscaloosa. 1836, my people left Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, Alabama, and came to Texas. And had 3 plantations, Lloyd's plantation. And they still in our family today. And when I get buried, that's where I gotta go to. All right, we're gonna push up. We got the Emerald Mounds, we got the Caddo Mounds. And then this is when Hernandez and them gonna come through there. That's Soto, the Luna, Pardo. They came through chiefdoms ruled by Micos. Micos is Mingos. So that's my family surname, one of their surnames, Domingos. And that just means chief. That mean Mingo mean chief, big chief. So you got the Gullah, you got the Macoma, the Arista, the Escamouga. A lot of people don't know about the Escamouga. From Escamouga was right in the Sea Island area. They were that buffer between, they were the largest group in that battle between South Carolina and Florida. It took the Spanish 8 missions because they could not do nothing with the Escamouga. These was some bad actors right here. Then you got Confederacy, that's a queen. You ever heard of her, Elder? Queen Confederacy?
Nah, my first time hearing that.
Oh man, you had check her story.
I might have to do some research.
She ruled with an iron fist, beautiful, bad. She was a baddie, and she was a queen, and she ran a large empire. The Soto, and then the story go that he kidnapped her, and but she ran away with. They said a slave ended up running off with her, but she ended up marrying him. I said he couldn't be too much of a slave if a queen married him. Right. He get out of that situation. Hey, I need me something like that. But then you got the Gatara, the Jora, the Shia, the Kusa, the Tuscaloosa. Somebody said Tuscaloosa, not Tuscaloosa, same bloodline. Now, Soto went through Carolina, East Tennessee, North Georgia, Northeast Alabama. What they looking for? Gold. North Georgia, Southeast Tennessee, specifically Chattanooga. This is the area that they say the Cherokee. If we look up now, this is where they say the Cherokee from, Tennessee niggas. But at this time, we're naming all of these tribes to show that ain't nobody brought up a Cherokee one time. Okay.
Nobody.
This the area right here. I'm gonna set you up. So you got your Mississippi and shit on the bottom, Cherokee are not from the South. And that's where, get that out your mouth. So we're looking at old maps. Now you got the Smoky Mountain, very important. Appalachians and the Smokies, but when you're dealing with the Cherokee, it's gonna be the Smoky Mountains. We're gonna bounce up. This North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Eastern Tennessee, South Virginia. We're looking around at these different tribes. You got the Shera right there. You got the Catawba. You had these different areas. These are names that will be put on them by swaying them, but they're just, it's a name because Fran's boy has said he didn't even go ask the Indians their name. He just put what he wanted to put. Shit. I ain't gonna fuck with them niggas. Nah, I ain't, man. Nah, I'm on that nigga though. Oh, yeah. So they named, so they basically they'll put them as confederations and put a name on them based off the geography that they're living in. So this is Gullah right here. Again, just want to show the town. This South Carolina low country. Edisto, Stono, Circle Stono, because we're going to go through that. The Ash Pool, Edisto. He go to Escamouga down here. They go to Hoya. Georgetown, who? Okay. Oh, yeah. Turned up one time. Escamouga, that's them dangerous niggas that put it on the Spanish ass and they came down there. This Georgia right here, Gullah, they call it the Golden Isles of Wiley. The Golden Isles of Gullah. And when they made the deal and when they made the deal on December 24th to create the hit me out on that one for the money when they brought in the international banking. Boom, 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 boom. What's that? They own the money. They print the money. Federal Reserve. They play. So that's what they at. They out there. This islands outside of Georgia, you know, and they done made them into golf resorts and all that type of shit. And we know anytime you find a golf resort or a country club, they'll sit on Indian royal territory. Yeah, so yep. There you go. Yeah, see, you got Aristas, you got the names of the tribes here. Or we can just go here and here go the names of the tribes who were here. So right here, what I want to point out, these Mayan ruins in Georgia. This ABC News, Mayan ruins in Georgia. Wow. Doing conclusion about Mayan connection to Southern USA. he said, or based on oral history, there are places named in Georgia and North Carolina, he said, that are very similar to Mayan words. Why? Because the Muskogean language and the Isamaya language are identical in a lot of ways. He said there are very similar Mayan words like Mako or Kukulkan. He said there are Mayan origins and will be recognized by scholars scholars of Mayan history. The ruins near Brasstown Ball, he said, also include mounds and irrigation terraces similar to those found in Mayan settlements in Central America. Why? Because we get Lake Okeechobee out of Florida. These people built them. That's why they got Miami is named after the Miami Mayans. You got so I had to come back on here and do the whole
that's a whole nother level up, bro.
Yeah, I come back and do that bill. I got you on that one. I'm coming through. We're gonna put it down and show how the Mayans in the Southeast connection. So you got Etowah mounds down there. Etowah mounds in the 19th century, European American settlers mistakenly believed the mounds had been built by the Cherokee. So Cherokee is taking credit. This Cartersville down in Georgia, Cherokee are taking credit for being, for building these mounds, and they had nothing to do with it. But many researchers believe that now because the Iroquois-speaking tribes did not reach this part of Georgia until the late 18th century. God damn it, somebody tell the truth. Because when I say Cherokees ain't from the South, they get looking at me crazy. Hold on. One more thing. Let me grab something. And I said I was going to bring it out with me. Hold on. Let me grab this here. Before we get out there, Georgia connection. Hey, y'all, jump on that like button. Share light.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button for them on both ends, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like right now for us. Yeah, if you want to show Chief some love on the Cash App, we driving it every 5 minutes in the chat.
All right, what we at with it? Okay, so right here. So I got this down in Mexico, and this is what you call Mayan blue. But the Mayan blue, this is Mayan blue. The Mayan blue was mined out of Georgia. They brought that out of Georgia to the Yucatan. Same way they said corn was first cultivated in Yucatan. That's impossible. The Yucatan is a jungle. That's why they had to scientifically find a way to make this a jungle fertile. So it was science. But when you go down there too, before we get out that mine topic, when you go down to the land, this is what they depict the Mayans of. They're not hiding it down there. But we Google it, they'll tell us something different. But these are artifacts down from the depictions. They know who the real Mayans. They know, you feel me? They ain't gonna hide it. And a nigga that don't look like you down there selling it. But all right, let's walk. Well, I'm here with it. Okay, boom, let's bounce out. Let's just cut straight to the chase. The search for the history of the Cherokee Indian is very vague. Why, Chief? Before 1721, it hit a brick wall around 1715. Damn, ain't that a bit? You don't say so. All the names of the Lower Cherokee town, South Carolina, Creek words, even though Cherokee history website says that listen, y'all, I want y'all to listen up. The Cherokee history website says that they are ancient Cherokee words whose meanings have been lost. Man, we gotta drop on that. Yeah, so the Cherokee language, they admitted the meaning has been lost. So this new Cherokee, that's why it's over 250,000, 500,000 Cherokees in the world, and less than 200 of them speak Cherokee. Because they're trying to teach it to them in school, but it's not a real language. They didn't pick up fast on it, and so but let's walk. In contrast, you had Georgia ancestors of the Creek reaching back to 200. So they're speaking about the Muskogeans left northeastern Mexico. They saying that the 4 tribes, Choctaw, Chickasaw, what became the Seminole, these 4 tribes, they saying they had a connection with northeastern Mexico around 400 BC. And the ways of people continue to migrate from northern Mexico and Mesoamerica to Georgia. Okay, now they get right to it. Origins of the Cherokee. That's why we here. Huh? The Cherokee ain't from. Get what Chuck Hamilton say. I want you to read it for me. If you can see the top, if you can just read the first 2 sentences.
I can't see.
I got you. Don't even worry about it, OG. Check me out. This what Chuck Hamilton saying. Origins of the Cherokee, part 1 through 5. Get what he say. The Cherokee ain't from around here. Period. Yeah, nigga put a period behind that motherfucker. The Cherokee ain't from around here, fam. Well, the Iroquois part of them aren't anyway. Damn, what you mean, Chuck? The Iroquois part. So it's 2 different Cherokees. Yeah. The original Cherokees are Iroquois people. Their language is Iroquois. The 4 civilized tribes, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Seminole. These people speak Muskogee, Miccosukee in different languages that are tied to the Mayan languages. But the Cherokee don't. Cherokee speak Iroquois. Them niggas from New York. Yeah, them niggas. So he say until the 12th century, this was a given, and the truth that the Cherokee did not exist as the Cherokee, a defined people under that name until the English colonial period. So Cherokee got some English shit got going on. The Iroquois part do. Let's walk. Historians, ethnologists, anthropologists, and missionaries among from the late 18th through the 19th century all noted this historical fact and remarked on the mixed origins of Cherokee languages. It wasn't after the turn of the 20th century, what we talked about earlier, OG, is that a lot of them changes happened in the 1900s, right? Okay, it wasn't to the turn of the 20th century that anyone of note seriously claimed that the Cherokee Nation as such originated in the South and as a people were of ancient origin. The Cherokee are not ancient and the Cherokee are not from the South. That nobody even thought that until the 1900s. And the 1900s is when the PSYOP, the destiny swap happened. You did that part. Right. So who they come from? If they ain't from the South, where they come from? They go to the map right there. They from the Iroquois. Okay? So the Iroquois are the people who created the Great Law of Peace. They fought the 100-Year War. Hiawatha brought them together. Said shit, nigga, if we link up together, can't nobody beat us. And I ain't gonna lie, the nigga had a point. It'd been better off keeping them niggas separated. Cause when you got them all together, them niggas were hell on 2 feet. They ran through everything. You hear me? Them niggas say we fighting hard in motherfucker, man. If I had you with me, we can't lose. And they went on a nice run till they got down there. Them Georgia boys. Them Georgia boys say them country niggas, they living out the land. Them niggas eating greens and beans. Stronger than 10 men. And they went down there, they had a problem. But see, they was the hardest to come out the north. But you had some niggas out the south that was the hardest. They wasn't the biggest, they was the bad. They called the Chickasaw. And then they got the rock. They class. We'll get into that though. Let's walk. So the Iroquois is gonna go through something called the Beaver War. Mind you, the Iroquois was the first, what we call a domestic slave trade, Indian slave trade. So the Indian slave trade is way before a conversation of an African slave trade.
Go ahead.
The intra-America slave trade. Now, the co-founder of slavevoyages.org, he wrote 2 books on the intra slave trade connection. And I had me and BCU research team we got to build with him for 3 hours, on that conversation. He even wanted to use some of the information we had to put inside of the website. That's how much we dropped that work on his ass. So they get into it with the Mohegans. Y'all ever heard of the last of the Mohegans?
Yeah, the last of the Mohegans.
Them. So you had the Dutch West Indies Company. A lot of people should be familiar with the Dutch West Indies Company, operating out of New York area, and that's gonna come with Hudson. Hudson also was a swarthy individual, and when he pulled up, he documented he saw swarthy individuals, and yeah. So you had they brought in a family from the West Indies to come run it, and this damn fool ended up going to war, and they fought off the Mohegans. He used the Mohawk. Mohawk is a branch of the Iroquois. He used them. They took them to war, and that set off the domestic Indian slave trade here in the Northeast. You had one down in the 1500s with the Spanish, 1565, but you had the revolt still. Then you had one in 1790. Yeah, they was rocking it. You had what was called the Beaver Wars. During the Beaver Wars, the Erie incorporated fugitives from the neutral and groups disrupted by the Iroquois. So anybody that the Iroquois was running over, they started linking together. Right there outside of Ohio, you had the Erie. They're ancient people. They ain't going. They ain't going. Iroquois, they were hard. So it took 2 years. It's the Beaver. They make their way down to Virginia. Okay, so you had a people named Rick Hogan, the Great Lakes. They're gonna go down into Virginia. When they went into Virginia, they went through everything. It was so bad. They was calling, telling niggas they, we met on the waterways to the river streams, and that's how we passed information. They ran through the Pamunkey in a bloody run. Look at it. After that, they're gonna put a Englishman who was wealthy on as the king. He'll be unalive, moved out the way. His wife, she's gonna after the Bacon Rebellion, she's gonna sign a treaty, and they're gonna push her out the way and her tribal members. Yeah, but you had a group called the They were a branch of the Erie Indians who migrated from northern Ohio to the head of the James River in the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia, 1856. And so the Rickahokins was originally Rickahoken was the original name of the Cherokee Indians in Virginia. Tennessee told that the Chickasaw and the Yuchi, Chickasaw, of Tennessee were the same people and related to the Rickahokins. So this is how we gonna get this bloodline. Okay, they from the Northeast, but they got bloodline ties through these other tribes that's occupying in areas down in the South. Tennessee will be one. This is how the Cherokee gonna get to Tennessee. All right, let's walk. Now that's Berkeley. Now we in Virginia with it. Berkeley pushed through laws which officially recognized the institution of slavery and codified laws removing any legal rights from slaves from the point until 1752. Captured Indians was condemned to a life of slavery, as were all of their offspring. Nowhere else in the earth did anyone go through what is called chattel slavery. You have some called the Savannah River, where back then it was the Westo Indians. This group or this gang, this Indian slave raiders, because they were domestic slave traders. No European ran through the woods to come looking for your ass, chasing after you. There was Indians stepping on other Indians. And this Indian on Indian. A European couldn't, them niggas were 5'2", 5'4". Man, they always talking about we 6 feet and up. Man, we'll put them down. We were too big. 7 foot, 7 foot. They always said how built we was and shit. So when niggas said nigga built like a Greek god, they talking about them down south boys, them SEC boys. Yeah, them boys that playing the SEC down south. Make you look like you playing against a Pop Warner team. You go somewhere, yeah. But yeah, them niggas raised on beans and rice, size of what Master P say. We raised on red beans, size of a bullet. Yeah, so you got the Westos. The Westos are these people who are gonna be called the Cherokee. They pushed up in South Carolina in the 1650s. Now, until this time, they running through shit. That's why it's called the takeover. Westos push a line. So they come through in the 1650s. They didn't ran through Virginia. They didn't ran through Pennsylvania, the Great Lakes. They didn't bounced over to Virginia, ran through them. They down. Now they made their way down to South Carolina. They came in 1650, furnished with arms, ammunition, guns for trade of enslaved Indians. They sold slaves. They were slave raiders. The English during the time of Virginia, the Westos also arrived in an aggressive state due to their experience from the Beaver Wars. Oh, this is the machine is in motion. Elder, these niggas are certified dangerous. They not doing, and they were matrilineal. And what was so cold, they would take anybody. So if they lose soldiers on the battlefield, because they warn a lot, and the chief, he liked to keep his soldiers active. Yeah, like Vietnam when you gotta go on scout. Yeah, you hold patrol. You feel me? Yeah, nigga patrol in the daytime and everything exposed and he like to keep, he got, man, you ain't hit nothing in 2 days, man, off your ass on your feet, nigga. Yeah. Yeah, he kept so when they get down there, they push up the Westos, they was aggressive, extra aggressive. They gonna bang on you. And they jackers, eat what you kill. That's a similar word, but this is what they was on. During the middle, you ain't know that eat what you kill, similar.
Eat what you kill.
You ever heard of a movie called Rosewood?
Yeah.
All right, in the movie Rosewood, check. I want y'all to do this too. It's a part where it's a YT man. He's teaching his son. They hunting, and he said the Seminole Indians had a saying, kill what you eat. Yeah, eat what you kill. That's Seminole shit. So when they get down here, the Westos, they was aggressive, you know what I'm saying? But during the middle 1700, colonists such as Henry Woodard, Thomas New set off and explored and colonized the Carolinas. So they trying to get out to the Carolinas. That brought in opportunities, trade opportunities for the Westos. So when they went to go hit them down in South Carolina, they already had a nigga that said, I can get off of it. That was the Westos. They had the muscle and they had the routes. And you know, coming out the game, you need them routes and you need somebody who can move it. There you go. So the early access to gun trade, aggression, appearance approach, they took their time in South Carolina and created a sense of fear surrounding Indian tribes. Not so much because we banged it out, but they did come down to the low countries. That's why the Cherokee, that's why the Stono and those tribes in South Carolina, a lot of people down there say, I'm Cherokee. But the Cherokee pushed the line on them. You feel me? So
yeah,
one way they got in through this guy, through the Blunt family, Chief Tom Blunt Mason. But Blunt family wasn't Cherokee. So they had a Tuscarora War. So you got the 5 tribes, which would be the Iroquois, but then they picked up a 6th tribe. Who that's going to be? It's going to be Tuscarora. Their connection is going to come through the Blunt family. The Blunts had good relationship with English and lived in 1712. The Colonial militia of Carolina, along with Chief Blunt force, attacked southern Tuscarora forts. So this group of Tuscaroras are gonna attack the real Tuscaroras because they gotta play. We finna get them out of the way, control the trade, and I already got a nigga waiting on me, which is gonna be the U.S. That the people who are forming this U.S. I already got some niggas who gonna back us, And they finna go link up with the hardest niggas on the land right now. We finna become the Six Nation. We just gotta pop them, get them off the block, get their work, set up shop here, and we in. We gotta play. So during the battle of the Southern Tuscarora, they massacred them. Over 300 were killed, and 100 was captured and sold into slavery. They sent them to the West Indies. And then Chief Blunt also captured a chief. And he was then tried and executed. And guess who became the chief after that? Blunt.
Damn.
So when he caught the chief of the Southern Tuscarora, they unallied him. And guess what? Tom Blunt was the chief. Yeah. So Sachem Tom Blunt Tuscarora, he ended up becoming the chief after he smacked the real chief. And then they linked up with the Iroquois for the protection. It's a cold world.
Man, it's a cold backstab. Hey, backstab, brother.
Hey, man, hey, man, like, damn, oh my God, what happened to Virgil? Yeah, man, what happened to Virgil?
Why these motherfuckers was back doing their own people, man? Like, it seemed like everybody back doing everybody.
It went their own people, but in some cases it was because back then it was by force. After they started getting this land and they started getting set up, it was more about business. But before, we have to acquire the land to get the resources in the ports. A lot of this is going out in ports of commercial trade, international ports. Nothing domestic. We taking that too, because y'all might run an army through here. We need all the routes. You hear me? Because when I get off mine, I gotta have some routes. So here come the Yamasee. Yamasee and the Cherokee. A lot of people say the Yamasee is this. No, the Yamasee, a lot of them grouped up because of the Cherokee. And the deer skin trade is gonna move down from the beaver pelts to the deer skin trade. So in the late 1600s, there were times of great disruptions of loss of land. Colonization forced tribes to be moved on. This is who the Cherokee was. They're gonna push their line on you and get you out of there and take over, walk in your trap and take over your trap. Yeah. Hey, you mind OG?
Huh?
You mind if I hit the peace pipe?
No, hey, hit your shit, man. Do your thing, man. Look. Hey man, you handle your business, man. Shit, do what you gotta do, man. We kicking it, man.
Turn up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
I'll go get me a beer out there, try to wreck me the cold. Shit.
Yeah, for sure. So other Indians, like the Chickasaw, they was making moves on people. They was making moves. The Erie had been forced out of Pennsylvania. The Iroquois, who are the Cherokee, who are the Westos, they moved south. They became known as the Westos when they moved south. They pushed the Yamasee towards the Georgia coast. And that's how they down to Savannah. So they the Westos. The Savannah River was back then called the Westabo River after these niggas. So they gonna set up shop. They houses, the way that they built and everything was different. But then they started amalgamating into each other. They started breeding with each other. This is gonna create that bloodline of the Cherokees in the South. So you growing up on one side of the family and the Westos, but my mama and them, Yuchi, we come from two different worlds. But as they groom them and they grow older, you know, that's what made them which side am I on. That's what made two brothers pick up and say, I'm on this side, you on this side. We banging it out. That type of shit. Then you had the Yamasee became known as refugee tribe, picking people up from different groups. That's how they became a confederacy. They went one bloodline. So along the way, they relocated to Georgia, where they were safe from the slave catchers. I ain't gonna lie to Kashada. We was in Tennessee, the coast side. We in Tennessee. Here come the Westos. We banged it out with them, but it was them niggas. I ain't gonna lie, they was too much. They were too much for us. There were too many of them niggas. Niggas come from every which way, and because we went on the outskirts or like first contact of coastal. We were inland, and that's why a lot of the mounds are inland as well. On the coast, you maybe find like shell mounds and things like that, especially like in Florida and things. But when you have the mounds that are located inland in the interior parts, that's where they hid a lot of the gold and things of this nature. So these were like fortresses, because you got to have a map, because all you see is mountain and trees and shit. But when you get inside of that, it's a whole village opened up, everything laid out, manicured. You feel me? Whole village, whole civilization going on. But so we didn't write down. You go this hill, give a nigga coordinates. You just have to know how many trees to pass up. Okay, they go a mark right here. Here go a sign right here. Here go an X right here. This is gonna tell you which way you need to go to get to the village. So they get down there. They were slave catchers, like I said. This explains the rise of multiracial black slaves who ran away from South Carolina, and they made it across the Savannah River. They would be free, and they can join. And later they went into Florida and joined the Seminoles. All right. So these are them pushing down south. So right here we got the Stono Rebellion, South Carolina. These people are going to take the Indian story, turn it to an African story. Say it was the Stono Rebellion, the largest slave insurrection in British North America, began nearby September the 9th, 1739. 20 Africans raided a store near Wallace Creek. I'm gonna come out of here and we're gonna come over here with it. I'm up. Let me know when I'm up, OG. I'm up. Okay, we're good. We're going to leave out of the Queen Anne War and go into what's called the Tuscarora War. Now, this Tuscarora War was dealing with increasing encroachment of European settlers, and they kept raiding their villages, kept robbing them, kidnapping them, and selling them as slaves, as you say. The southern band of the Tuscarora experienced more than northern bands because Chief Blunt was a European. He had European father and an Indian mother. And these European people, again, like Jack Forbes said, they had different agendas because some of them were in secret societies. They were in organizations, and we'll get to that a little later. So English encroachment on the lands of Port Royal set aside Yamasee tribe by Act of 1707. Okay, the Indians and Charlestown traders erupted the Yamasee War 1715-1717. The Yamasee War was one of the largest, most dangerous Indians in colonial history and began on Good Friday, April 15, 1715. As the Yamasee village, Poco, at the headwaters of Port Royal, was involved in the entire Creek Indian Confederation reaching present-day Alabama, Mississippi. Port Royal frontier destroyed and abandoned the region. Indian Commissioner Terminal North was tortured to death during the initial outbreak. And I'm telling them Indians, they killed viciously. So we're going to go into the Yamasee War right here. Other Indians like the Chickasaw were making people move. The Erie had been forced out west in Pennsylvania by the Erie Court. As they moved south, became known as the Westos. They pushed the Yamasee towards the Georgia coast. The Erie traded for guns in the South tribes. They were unarmed. Spanish had been more interested in missionizing the trade with the natives. The Yamasee became known as a refuge tribe, picking up people from different groups along the way. The extent of the rise of the multiracial black slaves who ran away from South Carolina. But damn, bro, all of the Indians are the ones who are needing to come together. At this point, why is he worried about an African and he don't have the right to bear arms? He don't know the lands. We talking about swamps. We in the Sea Islands, rocking. In the swamps, the alligators is dark out here. Now you gotta know what you're doing. Early history of Creek Indians and their neighbors. He saw Yamasee slaves living amongst the Seminoles, but other data is evident the three bands of the Port Yamasee. Now watch this here. According to the same writers, their complexion was somewhat darker than the other Seminoles. They know that Leader Jump is said to have been Yamasee descent, sent refuge for the Creeks. In their long war with the Americans, which followed what remained the tribe, became fused with one of the larger bodies, very likely with the Miccosukee. Those are the real Seminoles, whose language is supposed to be Listen, been nearest to their own. All right, and they talk about the Yamasee who went down to Pensacola and Mobile with the Appalachian and remained and returned to East Florida. All right, and some went to Alabama. But they tell you in history, since this is one of the most bloodiest fights that almost ended the colonists and their Indian allies, that was one of the most bloodiest. And they said those people went extinct, but we know they ended up migrating other places. In 1715, while they was fighting that war over here, and we see what was taking place there and the significance of it in the trade, a war was taking place in Europe, the Jacobite Rising. These are defenders of the Stuarts. So Charleston, they rocking down there in Charleston, and they're rocking back in Europe with the who were fighting with Charles Stewart. Telling you, bro, this is deeper than rap, okay? The French is the ones who on their ass over there too. And guess what? Over here, the French Indians, they end up with their Indian cousins, and they rocking over here too. Hold on, we're gonna walk into it. We almost done. Jacobite Rising 715, that ended in the Battle of Preston, attempt to put James Francis Stewart on the throne in place of George I, and they end up losing that fight. Jabari always bring up this, the Stono Rebellion, okay? And if we go, like I said, if we go to the institution, if we see what they say, well, the Stono Rebellion, 1739, the largest slave insurrection in British North America, began nearby on September the 9th, 1739. 20 Africans raided the store near Wallace Creek in the branch of Stono River, taking the weapon. Okay, 20 Africans. I'm trying to see what they mad about. Why they ain't madder than me? And he killed my mama, burnt the village down. Why you madder than I am? Let's go even further. In 1739, an enslaved Angolan man named Jeremy, living on one of those plantations, that was the word Carolinas used for Angola. The historian John K. Thornton has demonstrated that he was probably Congolese. Well, it's the boy Angolan or Congolese. Them the only two they like to go to about the African heroes in history, Congo and Angola. It's always Go Square, Cuffy, right? So now they don't even know if the boy Angola, they don't know where he's from in Africa, because they making this shit up. But let's walk. I'm going to show you. As for his name, the primary source give it is Jeremy, a not uncommon name used. But in African American oral history, he go down as Cato. How you get Cato out of Jeremy? Cato sound like Toby, sound like a space, sound like Cuffy. You know, this ain't Jeremy. And you say he Congolese. Come on, man. Let's walk. So they don't know where he from. They don't know the name. But let's walk. It says, in the revolt organized the Cato conspiracy, if his name was Cato, that may likely have been his slave name. The slave owner thought it was clever to bestow classical names that way, or he had belonged to that time the Cato clan, who had a plantation in the district and whose name sometimes spelled Cato or Cattle. Come on, man, stop it. He was a man called Jeremy, owned by the Catos. Jeremy Cato. Put it together. Boy, you sound like a Moor. That reconciled two traditions. We will call him Cato out of respect. Yeah, we ain't doing that, bro. What's up with the game? That's like Cujo. If he was a man, we'll call his name by Jeremy out of respect. Whatever we call him, he possessed another African name which we cannot know. I'm about to cut it off. I'm about to cut colleges and institutions writing this, man. This is not fair. He possessed another African name which we cannot know. He has been described by the social history Ron Burnett Jr. in the Negro Digest 1966 as the first Negro leader to emerge with any clarity from coming. But this is the guy they say is responsible for it. Now let's get real. Part of the Casabo's area, man, which is more so of a confederation, right? But in 1670, there had been no regular mission there, certainly no Spanish pest. Charleston was founded on Casabo soil, okay? Onward relationship between the Indians. 1671 was the short war with the colonists, the Coosa. 1674, trouble with the people within the Stono. 1675, the Coosa Indians. The people in the Stono in 1675, Coosa Indians surrendered the English and the large tract of land, which constituted Ashley, Baroni, and 1682 would appear had still been more sweeping land. Sessions were signed by several Casabo chiefs. Now, this is the wars that we were just talking.
Yo, everybody hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I think it stopped, Top.
But growing, terminated, bold influence. 1739 may be time to manage conditions in which 2 years of disease had left the colony. Let's go. It's a historians call it the Stono Rebellion, but Southern Frontier knew them as the Gullah War. So why is it now called 20 Africans Now, to relocate the Stono onto a secession reservation in order to make room for expanded plantation and removal begin. Already informed that the Indian Stono, Topcatz, which is the chieftain, had endeavored to confederate certain other Indians and murder some English nations to raise rebellion against this settlement. And sure enough, not so long, according to historians Alexander Hillwood, the Indians from Stono came down straggling parties and plundered the plantation. This brought about the small war of 1666 in Cape Phil. The governor Joseph West, in order to encourage and reward some of the colonists, would take the field against the tribes and allies and promised to purchase and fix price every Indian whom sellers could take for prisoners. These captive savages were given to traders who sent them to the West Indies, and there they sold them for rum. The last time the word Stono was applied and the tribe appeared in colonial records in 1707. That can't be true. So he started off saying it's about an African, he don't know his name, and all of this here. And then crazily, he turned around and went into the whole Indian story. Said it was Stono Indians who've been raising hell since the 60s because them take their land, and they've been enslaving these people. Listen, family, in the same source, the Stono Rebellion started on the plantation district known as Stono, which had taken its name from the river that ran in it. The Stono River, which had taken its name from a Native American tribe, the Stono or the Stono, Carolina. Ever heard this one before?
No, this is my first time reading this one.
Man, they done came out here and made up. Listen, man. They came out here and put a whole play together and said it was some Africans, stirred it up, got so mad, they went out there and did something. And then turned around and come to find out the Stono rebellion is not Africans, it's the Stono Indians.
Right, but they kicked them Africans.
They came in there and kicked the door in. Let's walk. Chat, y'all get some flames in the building. Get my guy likes up, and make sure y'all subscribe. He put me on it early. Make sure y'all subscribe to the big homie.
Yeah, subscribe to his page too. I think we running both sides right now. We live on your page too, so
okay.
We live on both ends. Yeah.
Let's walk.
So everybody do the same.
Who was founded in 1663, was settled close to Charlestown. That's what the fight was about. They sent them other Indian killers in there to move them out, and they worked together to control the port, and they set up shop together. While the Stonos is erased out of history, but they bang back. We see them fighting back, but these got a little too strong, and a lot of them pushed off into Georgia and Florida and Cuba. But let's the Stono themselves remember principally almost entirely for having started an uprising against the colony, like the rest of resent white encroachment on their land and serial abuse of Indian traders. As early as the mid-1680s, the colonial authorities had begun to relocate the Stono onto a secession. That's what I'm saying. It was about the land. It's always about the land. Then they came and put an African story on top of it that don't make no goddamn sense. But I'm not here to buy. Just put the information out and y'all take it for what y'all take it. But when we go here to this map in 1560, 1580, understand March Charleston Harbor, Spaniards met representatives of 3 districts that recognized as the Stono, the Kiowa, and the who associated with the Stono River. Same thing what they just spoke about in this source. What did they say? They found them at the same place. The Stono River, which had taken its name from the Native American tribe. 1751. Right here, we see the Stono. We see the Stono. The story coming over the top of it, and don't nobody know about Stono. Remember the Stono, okay? Great inconvenience. My bad. What you say, OG?
They got switched to Africans. They switched everybody to Africans.
They put an African story over in the 20th century. Yeah, but see, that's that we the most documented people on the planet, so we can go back and show our chiefdoms already in play before they come. Let's walk. 1740 Negro Act. So they called South Carolina to pass what's called the 1740 Negro Act. Okay, the original document is housed in South Carolina archive. Right here we have a clip of it, and it states the Act of 1740 declares Negroes in India. Okay, free Indians in amity with the government. mestizos, who now are free except to be slaves. Okay, so the Indians that they cool with, they got the amity. Under the provision, it has been informally held the color of the primitive evidence being the color of a Negro, mulatto, or mestizo is a slave. Okay, so they say we don't stop you and ask you black. Nah, bro, this one they say you black, the Scottish, the Irish black, the Spanish black, the German black, the British black, all these different Indian tribes. Black. So now all you like that hit me upside my last time, broke a bottle on my head in the club. I don't know. I'm not trying to find out. So that's bars.
Oh yeah.
So
that's a lot right there.
Yeah, tell me what you got out of that one.
That's a lot, man. It's like, man, what the like. These motherfuckers, how long it took for them to think of all this shit? This shit that they like. It took them like these motherfuckers ain't come up with this. It took them a long ass time, and maybe we even had to help them do this shit against us because it's too elaborate. It's too elaborate, man.
You check it out. So we hear a lot that we got wrote out the story.
Yeah,
you heard that one before.
Yeah.
The only way a nigga can write you out the story is that he have to know everything about you. So guess who writing the story? Cause it's a nigga who just like you. It's an Indian writing the story. Now watch this here. It's so cold because what they say, all of the Indians did what? All of the Indians, they say all the Indians died.
Yeah.
So boom, automatically in the beginning, they say all the Indians died. So that right there told me, hold on, homie, because when we come to the crime scene, they looking for suspects. Well, the Indian nigga say, you don't even look my way, because nigga, I'm dead. But you got the Indian removal act. You got all these different situations, the Stono War, the Yamasee War. These niggas supposed to have been dead in the 1600s.
Yeah.
So the only person that can write the story is a nigga that know everything about you. A nigga that don't know you can't write a story about you. So just like you said, it had to be somebody who knew. It was an Indian. And he got himself out of the way early and said, fuck it, nigga, I'm dead. So don't count me as a suspect, nigga. But the whole time, he the man with the master plan.
Nigga putting the whole thing together.
He put the whole
I know. Hey, it's a book called I got in the garage. I should have pulled that book out. It's called North Carolina from Negroes to Colors. From colors to Negroes, it might be. Yeah. In that book, he talk about how different these Jewish Zionist Jew guys, that's what it sounded like to me, because they got Zionist Jew last names, they started marrying into the tribes. And I'm thinking like, man, how the hell these guys start marrying? Like, what allowed us to marry these guys?
Oh, I got you. Don't worry, we're going through there. I got something for you. You told me, hey man, throw it out the glass. I got you.
Hey, throw it out the glass, man.
Yeah, turn up. All right, we back in action. Let me know when I'm up.
I got you.
All right, so we out the Stono. We just we need some power bears to come get them out the flow. Yeah, we stepping over them. All right, now you got the Casabos and these different Indians. The reason why I'm bringing them up is because these people, this is the areas, those areas after they were taken and those tribes were displaced. Now these people that move in, well, they'll fall under the banner of Cherokee. So that's why South Carolina say, I'm Cherokee. Not even understanding. Well, some of them might be because they did mix. They made it down there in the 1600s, late 1600s, but they didn't get a foot in there until around the 1700s. After these wars we talking about taking place, and they still was banging. Who we got up there? Chief Pontiac, Shadrach Hayes. Pontiac was on conflict with the British Empire, the Algonquin, Iroquois, Muscogee, Siouan-speaking Indians following the 7-Year War. Pontiac War uprising, the violence represented unprecedented pan-Indian resistance to European colonization in the North. That's why I was telling in North America, I was telling Uncle last night, Chief Pontiac is known for putting together the pan-Indian. If we had differences or whatever, cause these niggas running through shit and we ain't going. So yeah, if you ain't gonna hit, you might well go and pick up and get out of here. So brought in the Ottawa, Delaware, Powhatan, the Shawnee, Mingo, Seneca, Watanabe, Ojibwe, Huron, Choctaw, Pool, the Tunica. Yeah, he brought them all in. So niggas out the Ohio River Valley, you know, violence spread fast to Illinois country and far east to West Virginia. They rocking 1763 to 1765. Yeah, Chief Pontiac, yeah, he lined it up and we rocked them. But he always talk about the Gullah Wars, right? And you know, Rod always bring up the Gullah Wars, and Chief Pontiac, he had something to do with it. He the one got the niggas together and say, hey, we gonna hold our line. Yeah. So we in Tennessee right now, Homeland, Tennessee. You got Overhill, Middletown, Lowertown, Chickamauga Town. They go Atlanta right there. The Chickamauga gonna end up in Atlanta on Peachtree. Yeah, they got a place down there called Standing Peachtree. Y'all look up Standing Peachtree. That's where the Creeks and the Cherokees was. And mind you, these was youngsters. So you got the Ketawa Mounds right here. This is what they say. This is the mother town of the Cherokee. 1776. They said it was destroyed. So, but it's an ancient place. These people been there over 10,000 years. But no Cherokee went there though. You had South Appalachian Mississippian culture there. Anything under the Mississippian coast is gonna be tied back to the Mayans. All right, so let's walk. At the beginning, the Cherokee were living in about 8 towns. You had the Lower Settlement, Toluga, Kiowa River in South Carolina. You had middle settlements. The real heart of the nation was the headquarters of Tuskegee in Little Tennessee in North Carolina, in the valley towns in North Carolina, the valley. You had Nautilus, you had Hiwassee, you had the Overhills. That was across the mountains from the English settlement in South Carolina. They couldn't cross the mountains. They ain't know how. That's why niggas had to bring them over like they brought DeSoto over. And lying mainly along the Little Tennessee River, including towns of Tellico gonna be important, and Hiwassee gonna be important. Early English traders, the Cherokee towns in 3 groups instead of 4, lumping Middle Valley towns together as one group and calling them the Middle Cherokee. This is very important because this is how they're gonna break off. But you had the Cherokee Wars. This after Pontiac and them did they thing. It was at the same time simultaneously because it was 1754 to 63. But for the French and Indian, and Pontiac was in there, and then you go into the Cherokee Wars, or what they'll call the Anglo Wars, or what they'll call the origins of the Revolutionary War. See, they don't want to tell you the Revolutionary War was Indians. When they say they was fighting the British, most of the British troops was Indians. The British drew this proclamation line and said, King George said, this the 13 colonies. This the Appalachian Mountains. So they couldn't cross over this. You cross over, you out of bounds. This land is given to the British in the Treaty of Paris. Treaty of Paris, 1763. That ended the 7-Year War. Most Indians fought with the French. When we go into the Mississippian towns, Ohio, Indiana, anything outside of Pennsylvania, even parts of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and all of that, the French was, those Indians had, that's why I call them the French cousins in the video. Yeah, that was French territories with the Indians. Now, they couldn't get over this in 1763. King George, because they were stealing land, and they were stealing land that wasn't there. So since they under the charter of the king, they had to obey orders. So they can't cross this line. That's why the Treaty of Paris of 20 years later of 83 that ended the Revolutionary War, first thing that George Washington signed in the law was to delete this line. He wanted to take away this Appalachian line, so now they can cross over and encroach in still more land. That is called U.S. expansion. All right, now that walk. So right here are some of the key players that was connected to these families. So this is the genealogy on them. This is the Treaty of Stanwix. Very important, this Treaty of Stanwix right here. It was a cession by the Iroquois, aka the Cherokee leaders, aka the Romans. And the land is what is now Western Pennsylvania, Kentucky, West Virginia, New York, open up vast tracts, territories west of the Appalachian Mountains. So settlements, the Proclamation of 63, which followed the end of the French and Indian War, they came in. These are the treaties that were signed. They started establishing Quaker schools in Seneca territory. These different type of moves. The United States government granted him about 1,500 acres of former Seneca territory. Seneca is a large, powerful group of the Iroquois nation. Now they gonna get this band, and a lot of them, the Seneca, the Mohawks, they gonna go down and fight for the British. A lot of them was pushing down into Virginia and shit to fight against, you know, the Onondaga and the Oneida. These are the tribes that are gonna create the U.S. Like the Conestoga, 1744. He brought them together and helped them create the Continental Congress. So he was unalive for that too. Man, Nick, listen, they don't talk about that part. You weren't finna do nothing. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Say, man, he gave them European that game, man. They came back and his own people in them. Mafia style, man. They gotta put some respect on it. They move just like we move. Come on, elder. Nigga break a code in the streets. We know what's right, what's wrong. We know where to get you deleted. And hey, he went against the grain and they dealt with him accordingly, the Indian way. So this right here is the Treaty of Hosting, which is very important. Now, the Treaty of Hosting was a treaty between the United States government and the Cherokee signed. So let's get into the Cherokee history. Let's get what we're here for. I just had to line the board up. Yeah, because the geography, I want people to see it. Some people here in places that they are in or near or around the area, or they have family in. You feel me? So I just wanted to paint a picture, make it make sense. Hopefully you can find yourself in the story. So it was negotiated by William Blount. Remember them Blount guys? These are the niggas who gonna run up the Cherokee. And these are the guys, the Tuscaroras, who went and crashed the northern Tuscaroras, who were the real ones, and then they ended up going and joining the Iroquois for backup. You know what I'm saying? So now they chiefs, remember they unalived the chief, and then they became the chief, right? So now they sitting at the table when it's treaty time. It makes sense now. They didn't off the chief, this bloodline, off the real chief.
Makes sense.
They downed their people that took the POWs to the West Indies, and now they are occupying that and shit. They're the Tuscarora now. And who gonna do something about it? Cause I took that in blood. Yeah, I took that.
So they pretty much replaced us with them.
Goddamn right. And they was in, some of them was Indians. They was
Indians. Boy.
This is the north side versus the south side. We still be on that shit today. And and I was like, man, they slid on them, man. We got the big homie and now this our block. And they went and linked up with the most powerful hitters in the game, the hunting the city, Iroquois, and shit, nigga, we good. We got a whole army behind us. So Blount is at the table now, and he gonna sign the treaty. The treaty was John Watts. Who is John Watts? A lot of people hear about John Ross, but Watts came up that Pontiac Pan-Indian allegiance fell down to the youngsters. A lot of the older heads and big homies got killed. Like you said, the Cherokee snake. When the Yamasee put down, the Yamasee almost took all of the colonies out in South Carolina. Here come the Cherokee. They would have, it was over with. Here come Cherokee. Yeah. Cherokee was some big ass motherfuckers, man. Here come the Cherokee. Yamasee hit hard. Yamasee stopped their movement. But see, the Yamasee went with the Goose Creek men, though. And since they was being hunted down slaves, they became, you know, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. They turned into jackals too, and Indian slave raiders as well. When they hooked up with the Goose Creek men who came here from Barbados. So yeah, so you got Goose Creek right outside of North Charleston, or you could call it North Charleston. You know, they split it up. But John Watts, he ran with them. Now his family was a royal bloodline. He ran with the big homies who was in the Pan-Indian line. They go out one night, and really they were supposed to stop and camped out, because this party that's moving, they finna go to a peace treaty meeting. And when they get there, it's an ambush. So they didn't hit a lot of the top heads. So now the youngsters together. The youngsters come together. They pushing up. We're gonna get out. We gotta get out and get back. Nigga broke the treaty. They no good. So, and then you know how they got it. They got them to sit down. They went through kinfolk. That's the people them over there. Man, go holler up, tell them it's good. They got them. Yeah. Hey, but nigga, that's how you know it was us. That's how you know it was us. You So they pushing one night. And they got to come some these niggas who held Chief Pontiac you know, position on us holding our ground. They got some of the big hitters with them. To come some older brother T, Watts, his brother and them was there, and they got ambushed. Watts got wounded in their ambush. Everybody, the other head niggas was unalive. And they needed them. These the hitters, these the shot callers. So they didn't hit the older class, and then they didn't hit the younger class. So Watts traded. John Watts went over and made a treaty called the Treaty of Hosting. He established relationships between the United States and the Cherokee, and established that the Cherokee tribes were to fall under the protection of the United States, with the United States managing all future foreign affairs for all loosely affiliated Cherokee tribes. So if you fell in the Cherokee card, nigga, you now fall under the U.S. government. Because they had did Hopewell in 83, 86, 88. That was Choctaw, Cherokee, and the Creek. Chickasaw ain't signed no treaty with nobody. Chickasaw, shit, some say they ain't never lost a scratch, but Choctaw got them a couple times. But they were the smallest out of everybody. They ain't signed a treaty with nobody. Just like the Okeechobee Creeks and the Miccosukee. They say similar mean runaway. No, it don't. This mean people who never was enslaved, Seminole. They never was enslaved by the British or the Spanish. Oh man, they put fear in niggas' heart. Okeechobee, y'all look them up. The Okeechobee Creeks and the Miccosukee. Them niggas was warriors. Shout out to them Florida niggas, man. But yeah, so he went under protection of the United States. He got wounded. So they said that 48 chiefs signed the Cherokee, and it ceded land east of the Clinton River, extending the property to Greenville, 80 miles southwest, including present-day Knox County in Tennessee. Now, the Treaty of Hopewell, the first one, was signed. The U.S. representative was Benjamin Hawkins, Andrew Pickens. Ben Haupt was hitter for George Washington. Yeah, he one of his top guys. So when the civilization plan in 1791, as we see, Treaty of Hosting was signed in, this when George Washington puts his civilization plan to create the 5 civilized tribes. But we need some niggas that's gonna sit at the table. So being Hawk, he go down to Georgia, and down there you had some killers down there called the Red Sticks. And he ended up marrying Bina Downs. And they had kids, and her brothers was shot callers, capos, and the Red Sticks. We're gonna get to that because it ended up being a whole melee later on. But this treaty laid out western boundaries for American settlements. The treaty gave rise to Cherokee phrase of talking leaves, since they claimed that when the treaties no longer suited the Americans, they would blow away like leaves. So they already knew these niggas were bad business. Just like today, niggas say, hey, we signed the peace treaty. Trump talking about the peace treaty. And then 30 minutes later, they done bombed them. You know what I'm saying? Putin on the phone with Trump. Yeah, man, we gonna shut this shit down, man. I'm on some shit now. And boom. Yeah, these niggas in the chat. So the Indians already knew back then. They said they call it talking leaves. Because since the claims that when the treaties no longer suited the America, they'll blow away. They always want a peace. They always want a ceasefire so they can regroup. Cause we on their ass. Niggas sit there and let them regroup, and the nigga come get you while you sleep. Yeah. So here goes some of the treaties that were signed. All of these: ceded land, Philadelphia, Tellico Black House, Treaty of Tellico 2, Tellico 24, 1804, Treaty of Tellico 1805, Tellico 1805. You got the Treaty of Washington, a famous one, Treaty Fort Jackson, 1814, which was very pivotal because we lost that one. That was 1715. That's what sent a lot of the squad from Georgia over to Florida. And 1816 is when the Seminoles will be created. That Confederacy. All right, so Cherokee. The Cherokee government, anybody out there, y'all can pull this up. Cherokee government. The Cherokee government recognized from 1794. The Cherokee government was created in 1794 alongside of the United States. That's why they have to maintain a relationship to relate. Because remember, the Iroquois, the Constitution is modeled after the Great Law of Peace, which come from the Iroquois, right?
Right.
The Cherokee then made their way down to the South. So guess who gonna run the government down there? The Cherokee Iroquois, right? Yeah. Just under a different name. So the U.S. create they shit using the Iroquois government. The Cherokee gonna set up their shit too. And they got the closest alliance because they the same niggas. The owner died had their own passports and they had U.S. passports because they hated the U.S. The U.S. was created by the U.S. The U.S. was created because that line that I showed that was drawn, and since people were here under the crown, the Indians said, "This ahas, we gonna create a situation where you can come under our jurisdiction." That's why we just seen them pull Cherokee under their jurisdiction, the Creek and the Choctaw under the Treaty of Hopewell under their jurisdiction. Right now, you don't have to listen to the crown. Fuck the crown. Get it in blood, nigga. He with me now. He on my G pass. So now that's why they start naturalizing people and later on making niggas citizens, bringing them in their jurisdiction. So right here, during the late 20th century, Cherokee people reorganized, instituting a government with sovereign jurisdiction known as Cherokee Nation. That was in 2020. Come on, in 2020, they just done that. That's recent, but 1794 to 1907, what happened in 1907? It was called Indian Territory in 1907. The Union got it. It came into statehood Oklahoma was created. 1907. It's no longer Indian territory. It's in the U.S. jurisdiction now. Bars. So we're gonna push up. This the treaty party. We're gonna run through this here. All right, this is a fake picture. This is a mock picture, but I just got up here to prove a point. You had a guy named, this is New Chota. This is the Cherokee treaty that's gonna send them to the west of Mississippi, to Indian territory. And 32, Major Ridge, boss of all bosses. That's what I call it. Y'all gotta check out Indian Mob Ties. I'm gonna get it over the elder. It's a 3-part series. Go crazy. Everybody said it's their favorite one. And I ain't even think it was gonna do that. But yeah, so he had a son named John, his nephew Elijah, Boudinot, and Stan Wadey. That's what we were talking about earlier, Stan Wadey. So this is kinfolk now. So they
Stan Wadey is Ramadan Ebens, the dude that they be said they was a Muslim or more or whatever. Ramadan Ebens,
that's the one they got. Yeah, they got that one wrong. Yeah, cause we had so if I say what's his daddy name, what's his mama name, and then you know, person won't be
they ball up, they take off running.
You feel me? But I can't ask the question if I don't already know. See, because I know his sister name, I know his baby mamas, I know his kids' name, I know his brother name, his uncle, his dad.
And they want no Muslim name.
Nah, not at all. These the way. This is ridge. Ridges. These are real important people. And they have a relationship with George Washington. Now, do they have some Moorish bloodline in them? Yes, not all of them. Ridge them, not on that side, but Ross side will. And you know, McDonald, but you did have we'll get into that, but the 40 Jews and the Moors came here together, and they're going to help create that Cherokee government that was started in 1794. They will help create that. In the end, they will take it over. And today, the Cherokee is still run by the small heads. Let's walk. So here you go, right here, Stan Wadey. The last Confederate general to surrender was a Native American. Stan Wadey, Cherokee leader who signed away his ancestral land, fought in the South in the Civil War, terrorizing many of his own people. Born to a Cherokee father and a mixed race, half Cherokee, half European mother, in Cherokee Nation in Rome, Georgia. Wadey was given the Cherokee name, and stand firm. He was a stiff nigga. This book, Elijah Boudinot, named after the nigga in the Continental Congress because of their blood. I'll go a little deep in there. This is Coy right here. He the one that they say created the Cherokee language. And we'll get into that. But the Cherokee Constitution is in 1827. Since the point I got to get into by the Boudinot, but I'm going to tie that in with the Hebrew question you had for me, OD. So in 25, the Cherokee changed the rule. They went to Cornwall in Connecticut to a mission school that was set up by Puritans. When the Puritans got here, they went to New Haven, Connecticut. And see, I got video of me in New Haven showing the building at Yale University with the Hebrew writing on it. You know, I should have threw that in there. You know what? I still can. So in July, so that was in 1825, the Iroquois and the Muskogee, the down south tribes, they made matrilineal. You go through your mother. Well, 1825, when he went to that school, Eliza or Buck is gonna marry the superintendent's daughter and get her pregnant. She's gonna go back down to Georgia with them. They already doing missionary work, so they're gonna send them down there. But now these niggas in Connecticut who've been running the play anyway, now they're gonna tie down into the South. They're gonna tie their business down into the South, and then they got it in bloodline. So in 1825, they changed the rule that in order, because the kids wouldn't have got the same, like right now they speaking about the citizenship and all of that, birthright citizenship. Well, back then, if your mama went Cherokee, nigga, your ass, your daddy was something there, Your mama went Indian and your mama was Indian, daddy was something else, your ass ain't in the tribe. Gang shit. So in 1825, they changed it to either parent. Cherokee was the first to do that. So in July 1827, they created a constitution. So now the constitution was directly modeled after the U.S. Constitution.
Go ahead.
Right in our face. In 1827, when they created the Constitution was directly modeled after the U.S. Constitution. For example, Article 2, Section 1 states, the power of this government shall be divided into 3 district departments, the legislative, executive, and judicial. So that's the gold rush of 1829 down there. And then that led into 1830, state of Georgia extended its authority over the area. And 2 years later, the land was raffled in a land lottery. 1804, they got the first, 1803, I'm sorry, the land lottery down there. And once they took that land, they rode over that and with an African story called Igbo, saying some Igbo slaves came here, and when the boat docked, they all walked in the water and drowned. Well, why you ain't do that shit back in Africa? You know what I'm saying? Get over here, you hungry, you done took the ride, you get here. And, come on, they use that to write. Yeah, they want to cover the land part up. Well, yeah, they want to put that African story on there, and niggas out here crying and shit, because shit ain't never happened. What you need to be crying about is, nigga, they took your shit and moved you out the way and put a fictitious story right here. So in 1830, 1 year later, after they find the gold rush in the gold belt in Georgia, in 1830, guess what happened? They signed in the law. The United States, the law authorized the president to negotiate with Southern Indian tribes for removal to federal territory, the Mississippi, in exchange for white settlement of their ancestral land. And white don't mean complexion, because white is an ideology and not a biology. Black is not a biology, it is an ideology. Remember that. This is class systems. So they find the gold, and the next year they said, nah, fuck that. Y'all niggas, y'all gotta go. So, nigga, I done came up, and here go the bill right here. It's 102 in the Senate, February 22nd, 1830. Yeah. Okay, so they get on these Eastern Band Cherokee, because them niggas there ain't nothing but white hillbillies out there on that tribe. So what's cold is this guy drowning bow. He come up with the old heads. Man, he done been there since all. But when they get there, he ended up switching with the U.S. So we used the terrain to advantage. So they was going up into the mountains. Man, why this nigga make a deal with them people and now he coming up the mountains? He bringing them up. Come on, man. He got a whole party to come up there and get them. And every Indian got a price tag on him. So he was considered to be the last great chief of the Cherokee. They only write shit about you when you was on their team. You did something to help them. Yeah, there you go. And he cooperated with the United States government, and later in life warned against the effects of the black drink of the Cherokee. He ensured that the Treaty of 1819 was observed and his people was recognized as North Carolina citizens. So they under jurisdiction of the U.S., they citizens. As a result, the United States did not remove his followers from their home in North Carolina mountains, and they were allowed to stay. Why? Because they were the traders, and they agreed. See, when you're fucking with them and it's time to go on the mission, hey, it's a hit. Guess who up? And if you ain't up, you already know what's gonna happen. We're gonna get you out of here and replace you. So yeah, what he did, he took the niggas ass up that mountain. he consistently urged peace with the United States, played a prominent role in meeting between Cherokee chiefs Tecumseh in 1811. Tecumseh was a little young homie who came up the Pontiac allegiance. Strong youngster. And so that's why he out there shot calling with niggas way older than him. You feel me? But yeah, he was real respectable. His brother T ended up getting hit. The conference resulted in the Cherokee refusal to join the Shawnee leader in his alliance with the British for an offense against the United States. So he's saying, look, we finna push on the U.S. The Shawnee are a part of the Iroquois stock too, but they came with the Erie to fight against them when they attacked them in Pennsylvania. They lost, and if you lose to the Iroquois, your ass is one of us, or we send your ass to the West Indies, nigga. We can't if you steady bucking. If nigga, he's here. Oh, he hit 15 niggas. Oh, that's the get his ass out of here. I ain't finna deal with him. So them killers niggas got teardrops out there. Oh, nah, nigga got body. Get him out of here. Bitch, you want to West Indies. Nigga, you'll be in Barbados in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So this Koala boundary right here. Shout out to the Eastern Band Cherokee. Guess what? This is a Cherokee reservation created through earlier efforts of W.H. Thomas, a white Cherokee chief. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a so
they said white Cherokee on the goddamn sign. Boy, that's crazy.
Yeah, on the sign, they put it in a nigga face. And then you pull up Eastern Man Cherokee, they who them white no but white boy. They don't like niggas. Yeah.
Man, they said white.
On the sign, that motherfucker up there today. That's the state put that up there. You see that at the bottom? Yeah, the state put that motherfucker up there. And that's the Koala boundary and the land trust supervised by the United States Bureau of Indian Affairs. The land is fragmented and extensive historical homeland of the Cherokee. So he's gonna give so to get him in there. The homie out of the Eastern Band Cherokee took him up the mountain who cooperated, who they say was the last real nigga. Couldn't have been a real nigga. He ain't hold the line. So, and he crossed to Compton them, you know what I'm saying? And it don't matter. They went back to try to get him though. Now they tried there. But, man, you couldn't play with no Indian like that, man. Them nigga came back to get him. That nigga they had to put that nigga in PC. Yeah, that nigga was in protected custody, man. That nigga they came back to get that. But the tribe, the total area adding up to 50,000 acres. 50,000 acres. The Cherokee organized and formed a corporation in 1870 to be able to purchase and hold the land. The Cherokee gained the ability to live in North Carolina, were considered to be independent band from the Cherokee Nation in Oklahoma. So they're separate from the ones in Oklahoma. That's how they got to run their own shit. But later, they're going to make them come together because the Cherokee going to piss them off when they join the Confederate. Yeah, and that went wrong for them. So we'll push through off him. We see. So this the Chota. This when they gave the Cherokees $5 million, $5 million in land in present-day Oklahoma in exchange for 7 million acres in Georgia that they didn't even own because these niggas from New York. I just want to throw that out there again. So
that's cold too.
Yeah, fucked over them. And the U.S. Senate ratified that document in 1836. That's when my people and them left Tuscaloosa, Alabama, came to Texas. So right here we got Stan Wadey. This the dude who I don't know where they get that pseudo shit from. Like, it's just go look up his mama name and his daddy. Ain't no that's I don't know.
Ramadan.
Man, I saw that source a few times, and I'm like, what the hell? Where are these people getting this information? But it's all good though. Each one teach one. So the 5 tribes, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Seminole nations allied with the Confederacy in the Civil War. Cherokees were the last to join, and the principal chief John Ross, his long-standing rival, with Stan Wadey. So he was banging with Stan Wadey at the time. But when they got to Oklahoma, Stan Wadey and them signed the treaty. Ross, his daddy was a spy for George Washington. So his code name was the White Swan. He went against his father-in-law. His father-in-law had to get out of there because he was with the Chickamaugas, who went down into Atlanta with the Creeks to fight against the U.S. with Tecumseh now. The ones who nigga done gave you the game, we're gonna make a move on them. You done went back and told them folks, hey, they gonna push on y'all. Y'all better go get them. You feel me? So that's how they got their big homie them hit. Yeah. So it's always the nigga on the inside. Niggas, man. Yeah. So General Stanwady surrendered. The last Cherokee chief, Stanwady, and the Confederates surrendered in the Civil War. His raids behind Union lines had distracted and delayed Union troops when they were badly needed at battle. And yeah, right here, this is in Dokesville, Oklahoma. Dokesville, Oklahoma is where Brigadier General Stanwady, Cherokee Indian, was the last Confederate general to surrender for the Confederate. That's what ended the Civil War. We ended the Civil War. That's why the 1866 treaty, they gave us land allotments with nobody over us. And then when they tried to, because they came under jurisdiction through Hopewell and Hostin, we seen it. And then they left out through Albert Pike, and he got them in the Confederate. Now, after the war is over, Lincoln bring in the USCT, colored troops, bring us in. They snug attack us in Oklahoma. We made it to Kansas. They put weapons in our hand, and next thing you know, they big homie, big badass Stan. Yeah, nigga got many hats, got bodies on bodies, and guess what? He laid it down. Yeah, he laid it down, and it was Cherokee who he done fucked up with a granddad. He fucked up with a daddy. They remember from a little boy when you came through there and burned the town down and all that. Yeah, and they got their get back a motherfucker. Yeah, they got him. Yeah, I want him alive. Yeah, bitch, you gonna get tortured. So on 1866, 6 delegates representing the Cherokee Nation signed the Reconstruction Treaty with the United States. The treaty granted Cherokee citizens to freedmen and their citizens, Article 9. That's the 1866. But then we got the Dawes Act, February 1887. The turning point in determining tribal citizenship. The act developed a federal commission task, creating final roles for the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, Seminoles, and Indian Territory. Then we bounce over to the Curtis Act. The federal government dissolved the former Cherokee Nation. So right there, they tell us that 1898, 1906, the real Cherokee, us, that disbanded us. Not only the Cherokee, you had the let's go down. So to make more to incorporation of Indian territory in the new state of Oklahoma. By doing that, they're gonna transfer it over in Oklahoma. Now they don't respect Indian sovereignty. So they changed Indian territory into the Union, bringing it to the Union into statehood. Now we don't respect sovereignty. We just respect citizenship. So you have to come in our jurisdiction. We're gonna bang it out. And here under our codes, nigga, your ass is subject to slavery. So well, now this 1898, but you was gonna get a hard time. So a lot of niggas pushed out. But then you come back with the Reorganization Act, which reversed some of the provisions of the Dawes Act in 87, allowing them to return to tribal governments and by allowing Indians to manage their assets. There were some drawbacks to this law. One drawback was that it was implemented very quickly. So this is some shit they put together so fast because we were still organizing. And they had to get us out the way. That's why in 42 they wrote a letter. Senator wrote a letter said, kick the niggas out. But in the Treaty of 1866, it said no man or law can ever come back and undo this. Period. Nigga, both eyes is ours. So that's the Termination Act and all that. We're in right here with the Cherokee Constitution, 1827. But then the modern Constitution of the Cherokee, these new ones, The ones we see out here now, you got Chuck today, but they were approved through Indian Affairs in September the 5th, 1975. Ratified June 26th in 1976. Then they came back in 1999 and created a new constitution. Niggas are out after 75, 76. Now they kicking niggas out the tribe. The Creek kicked niggas out in 79. And then you down here and they made a new constitution in 2003. They overwhelmingly voted. The new constitution was enacted in 2006. And we seen all the way up to legislation for them in 2020. But they're still trying to block it. Now, Cherokee versus Nash, under new constitution, members first voted to out intermarried whites, then freedmen, meaning us, based on blood connections, meaning if you didn't sign the Dawes Roll or Dawes Commission and didn't feel like you was an Indian, they, you don't get to be an Indian ever again, type shit. So by the 1970s, a decade of oppression ruled by Bureau of Indian Affairs, Cherokee reorganized tribal nations, choosing their own leaders and allowing citizens the right to vote under new constitutions. They first voted. First thing they did was kick the niggas out. And this is who we got today. Boy. This the Eastern man on the right. This the Western man on the left.
Damn, boy. They don't look like Indians to me, like Donald Trump said.
Here go Bill John Baker. Today they got Chuck. Chuck, if you go to the Cherokee Oklahoma page, type in Cherokee Chief Chuck and then type in genealogy. A white boy did his genealogy. They can't even find his ancestors. He don't even know his genealogy. They went and found the chief. When you pull him up, he had no records. And the white boy even told him, well, there's little records of him, but, this is him. And he like, wow, I did not know that. Damn. Chuck asking, so how the hell that's what let us know it's not about bloodline. It's not about you being no damn Indian. This is business. These are charter corporations. That's why they're ran like a business. That's why they have committees. They have governments, but they don't have no army. How are you a nation and you don't have an army? If they fight in the army, they fight in the United States Army. On every reservation, there's a United States flag flying. There they go right there. This the council. This the youth council. Yeah, this the next generation.
God damn, bro.
This the next generation of them. Becky, yeah, Marianne, Rebecca, yeah, this the next generation.
Damn, boy, that's a cold piece.
This who the Cherokee is today. This who the small hats use as a buffer. On August 30th, 2017, the federal district court in Cherokee Nation versus Nash ruled that the Treaty of 1866, I'm telling you, that is the most powerful tool, one of them that we have, especially for niggas in the South. Because the Dawes Act, Curtis Act, all of those acts were unconstitutional. But if we don't do our genealogy, nigga out here talking about, oh, that's a slave name, take your last name. You can't even follow your inheritance, your GPS off. Yeah, say you on SOS, fam. You don't even know where you at in the story. Because 1866, that treaty gave niggas land, meaning the not just buying your house, but you own the land that your house is on. You got 160 acres, fam. 160. Do whatever you want to do with it. And it's yours, unless you want to sell it. But that's why the Dawes Roll allotted it to different people, so people can buy it. Because 1866, they allotted it to the nation. So it's harder for the government to fight a nation, and it's easier for them to say, well, the United States versus, whoever you is as an individual or a family. Yeah, they'll style you out, and if you ain't got the money, then you shouldn't even showed up. But the Cherokee versus Nash case, they're gonna win their right. The nation's constitution or pass other laws solely to not deny freedmen descendants rights of Cherokee citizenship shall never be law. This is what they said. They said the Treaty of 1866 placed limits on nations' governments. It placed limits on them, why, Chief? Such that any cause to amend the nation's constitution or pass other laws, listen, solely to deny freedmen descendants rights of Cherokee citizenship shall never be law. This is in the 1866 treaty. This is what our ancestors put down so they can make sure niggas who done ran off with goddamn Dutch and Cubans and shit and ran over to Africa and all of this talk. Before you even made a mistake, everything they done died for, they done went to war for, they done fought for, believed in, still had y'all in mind. Because, nigga, we won the Civil War. We took care of that for y'all, because they were mopping the floor with y'all ass until we got in. And so, since we laid down the last nigga. Cherokee on Cherokee, nigga, that rock. Mixed race against that rock. And you know nigga can't do nothing with us. So, yeah, we put them down. So the U.S. had to pay, but when we come back to the table and sit down, I look real good. We looking real good. Unless you want some of this. Who next? Like a motherfucker. Nigga turn around, see. So when that nigga say, you want some of this, old man? No, nigga, I seen you work. Y'all nigga work clean. So now the Cherokee got to come back into U.S. jurisdiction. But U.S. just got to do banging with them. So they made the East and West band say, nah, y'all not separate no more. It's together. But just like they run it out of Washington, out of Oklahoma, that's Indian, Washington, D.C. It's Indian territory. That's why they run shit. But whenever they got a big problem, they got their own courts. But when they got a big problem, they got to go to the Hill and go ask the U.S. can they do something. And one of the things they don't want to do is let niggas in the tribe. But under 1866 treaty that was placed, it placed limits on nations' government such that anybody out there in the world after this ass whooping out this game, y'all try to come back and say, call to amend that anybody that say the nation constitution or pass any laws that deny niggas to be in the tribe rights as Cherokee citizenship shall never be law. And guess what? They just watched them work on the battlefield. Nigga sign that shit so fast. Done. Yeah, nigga say, hey, homie, this can never change. I got you. Now put it in writing. Shit, nigga, you got a pen? Yeah, I seen your work, nigga. You work clean. So they got it approved. A new constitution with Cherokee Nation Wednesday, May 12, 2021 ensures citizenship to the descendants of black people once enslaved by tribal citizens known as freedmen. And Trump gave them hundreds of $1 million because they have money that is saved that those tribes can't touch unless they let the niggas in. Only reason why the Cherokee let them in because of the monetary gain. When they did that, they got all their money. But the Creek, the Choctaw, the Seminoles, the Chickasaw, they all sitting in Washington. Yeah, steady going back and forth over a note from 1942. A nigga wrote said kick the niggas out. But that don't treaty and constitution run law here is the law of the land. And in this treaty, it say you can't kick out or deny a nigga Cherokee, a real Cherokee, a right to citizenship. And that stands for all 5 of those tribes. The Cherokee said, fuck it, let them in. Go on, give us that 300, 400, 500 mil you owe them niggas. We'll bust it down the middle between us. They'll get a little bit. Bring them in. Bars. Indian by blood. Indian by the blood we shed. The making of the Cherokee by Legendary Topcatz. Bars.
Hey man, this was lit. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, everybody, hey man, yeah. Look, I'm about to go back and do my homework on this whole tape. You already know I'm doing. You gave me a whole bunch of homework. I'm finna break all this shit down about 5-2 cone, man. Your ass is fucking man. Look, you definitely a fucking chief on the land. I don't give a fuck what nobody say because your ass is fucking detailed on all this shit. Your ass is extremely detailed on the storylines, man. Like I don't know too many people that like I studied this shit really good, but your ass know a lot of shit about the storylines, the people, what they was in, how they met up, what they was drinking, what the motherfucker was drinking, what they was smoking on. Niggas, you got the whole fucking thing now. Hey man, hey y'all, show Big Chief some on the Cash App, man. Send it to the BCUBCU Cash App, man. Everybody send them $10 right now. We got about 500-600 people on. Somebody, hey, about 3 people send them $100 a piece, man. Somebody send them 25. Everybody send them 5 or 10. If you can't do that, at least send them $1, man. Shit, we'll take whatever you got. We got the Cash Apps on the screen. Man, this shit was lit, man. You went over just about everything I could think of on the Cherokees, man. Hell man, yeah, like you really got their down. That's a cold piece, though.
You know what's so crazy? I got a lot of work. Why we ain't gonna go through, but we'll do it next time. But let me see. I had something else pulled up. But I want you see on the side down here at the bottom. Like black. If you look on the side, where the slides are, if you look at the bottom, it's a black thing. It say total slides. Hey, somebody in the chat, can y'all tell me what you see the number? What it say? Or somebody in the chat, type it in the chat. How many slides that is right there? Somebody in the chat, type it. 604. So
damn.
What I'm saying is,
you just went through like the percentage of that shit.
We wouldn't even. That's not even the PowerPoint we just went through. That ain't even that. That's another one. That's a 604 clip, and we still got ammo on them niggas' ass.
Yeah, man, you lost it up, man. You all, exactly. Man, you all to the motherfucking
connection. They want to know the Hebrew connection. Oh, I'm gonna give it to you. Now I know James and Deal. Y'all gotta understand James and Deal in the Deal family, the Van family, the Goyen family, all of these niggas running Cherokee and Creek, even today. But they family was the largest slave owners. This is what I say though. For the Hebrew, it ain't gonna be pretty. All of the writing, the Back Creek Stone, Los Lunes, anything you chunk up, I'm a fuck over you. You know what I'm saying? I just showed you 607-minute clip. That bitch got a switch on it. Yeah, that boy.
600 pieces in that bitch.
He's like a motherfucker. So I got 600. So if we want to run nothing back, we can go part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. That's just the first light touch. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, well, you got this. You got it, man. You got the intricate pieces, man, of the storyline, and you got names, times, dates. You got the motherfuckers right down to, hey, he was standing right there on the bank. You know what I'm saying? At 1873, the motherfucker came. You got his ass. You got their ass all the way down, boy. I'm telling you. Hey, y'all. Hit that goddamn like button now on both ends. On if you on shout out everybody that's on the other side on Topcatz page. Hit that like, man, on both pages. Subscribe to both pages.
I keep forgetting we on over. Now I said I keep forgetting we on over there too. Shout out to
the we on your page too. We live on both. So hey, both sides. If you ain't subscribed to Topcatz, go subscribe to Topcatz. If you ain't subscribed to me, subscribe to me.
Come on, push over here, man. Goddamn. Push over the channel and subscribe and tap in with the homie. Hey, I wouldn't be here. Y'all know me. I don't really do too much moving around. It's probably 4 or 5 places that I go. But goddamn, I approve this message. Nigga, come fuck with Elder. You feel me? Yeah.
Hey man, I'm telling you, look. I'm telling you, man, and look, we got more coming. I'm gonna do all the homework and 8 receipts on this tape right here, y'all. We might have to come back with a part 2. This shit was intricate, and it's just so heartbreaking. Damn, we really did it to ourselves in a kind of way. In a way, we kind of did it to our, like,
ain't no
half
kind,
of the shit
all the
over
way. All the way.
Damn.
That shit got our handwriting all over it. Fingerprints
Damn,
all over
man.
that mother. Nigga knows. You can just look at the activity and the action.
Yeah.
Man, when they hit Big Ridge, the treaty signers, Stan Ridge was a boss of all bosses. John Ross was the principal chief because of his daddy Daniel affiliation with George Washington. That's why they gave it to him. But Stan Wadey was more into the coach. He was more respected. He was sized up. You know what I'm saying? Knock out orders. He was a boss. And he come from a real family. He come from a family of niggas who been putting in work. But like he was down with the play. Anybody sell land, you out of here. That's why they got Colonel Sataga who taught them the Continental Country, put that together and all this shit. They smacked him. So this type of game. So they leave Georgia, get to Oklahoma, Major Ridge, bosses, and this shit went in the papers everywhere. They couldn't believe a nigga with this much power can get touched. Well, he drive off, he got a Cherokee, and they say he had a colored boy in there driving. The driver was a colored boy who was a Cherokee Indian. So they pushed up, they get to an intersection, a 4-way, and some niggas laying in the bushes on this side and on this side. And they heard the rifle cracks. And shit, when they got to the scene, them niggas with DOA, him and the driver. Now, they ain't stopped there. They went to his son's house, John sleep. In military, they say we'll attack at dawn. That's Indian language. They learned that from them Southeastern Indians. We'll attack at dawn. First light, 5 o'clock, we're gonna hit you. Cops out going, you be asleep. 4:35, we push up. Man, they came to his house, around the house, pulled him out the pussy, grabbed him by his ankle. They pulled him to the porch and start putting them hacksaws in his tomahawks in his motherfucking ass. Crushed him.
Damn.
Right there in front of the baby. Then they went over to his cousin, Elijah Hyde. That's Stan Wadey brother. That's why Stan Wadey turned up. Because Stan was the only nigga that didn't get hit that day. But they went to go get him. He just went where they thought he was going to be at. So they put on him run the play. Nigga out there fixing on the hide. He got some niggas come through there fixing on the hide. And one of the niggas say, damn, I'm big, man. You can run me around there to the dock. Man, we gonna knock this out, but yeah, man, I'm fucked up. I'm dead, man. Run me around to the dock real quick, man. We gonna knock this shit out today. Fuck, come on, let's go. You already know the old trick, nigga. You get in the front and yeah, it's a nigga in the back seat.
Yeah, they put one, they pulled that one on him.
What? Yeah, and put him down. Yeah, put him down. Why homie in the back seat, nigga? Now you can ride in the front seat. I'm fucked up, man. Yeah, nigga, and rolls up. Yeah, put him down.
Damn, what?
All 3 of them niggas the same day. And when Stan get there, it was so Stan was a soldier. Cause Stan came to the scene. They tell him, hey man, your brother, he come to the scene. Body, this how cold. They fuck over and left the body out there. Cause it was more niggas that ran with the crew. That was a sign that everybody that's with y'all, we gonna touch them. If we can hit Ridge, y'all know you little niggas that's just in the way. Get out of there. So they left John in the middle of the street. Come pick your boy, come pick your mans up. So Stan pulled up and offered you know, a pretty penny if anybody has some information. He won't know who did this. I'm finna go get some get back.
Touch these niggas. Finna go touch these.
I'm finna go touch it, man. Y'all gotta catch that series, Indian Mob Ties, 3-part Cherokee.
Yeah, I need to watch
that. That bitch called Cherokee Blood In, Blood Out. You know what I'm saying? 3-part series, man. They rocking and rolling. It tell the first story of the treaties, how it unfolded, how they was down there. Man, that shit was in the news. Everything. It was bad. I'm talking about multiple people got hit. And then they hit the boss. And then the second one is Stan Wadey coming back, finding John. And that mission, he put his team together and they slide. They got some get back. They just ain't get the niggas who they was trying to get. You know, they they showed them, nigga, we can touch y'all. And that shit happened in Georgia. They got to Oklahoma and hit them. That shit happened in Georgia. Man, they got them niggas in Oklahoma and hit them.
Them boy was serious.
Nigga out on the road, go get that. Say, man, nigga, you don't do that. He signed the Treaty of Chota. Gave the land up, 7 million acres.
Oh yeah, that's killing talk right there. Let's pick a nigga out.
Nigga, fuck your money, fuck your power, fuck who you know. Nigga, land in your bushes. Yeah, took out the big homie. That was on new front page newspaper. The boss of our bosses have been taken down. Yeah, shit. We had a series of murders occur today in Cherokee territory, and it don't look like it's coming to a close soon. Yeah, not at all. But they wore it out, man. Yeah, folks, some Al Capone and Bugsy Siegels and all that shit. Movies and shit. Nah, these nigga, that's Indian and cowboy territory, the wild, wild west, nigga. Your pistol better be smoking, or you better get from around here. Yeah, that nigga pistol better be smoking. You better pop that pistol, homie, or you can't chill over here. What the cowboys do? They come through the town, them niggas get the busting in there. Bow, bow, bow. Hey, nigga, no, we here. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, we heard about the niggas. But you pull up on some stiff niggas who built like you, ain't going.
Right.
I don't drink, I don't smoke. Yeah, hey, boy, tell me, get him right. That's the nigga. That nigga out there waiting on it. And soon y'all come out, you over there trying to unrope the the horse and shit, nigga, and they trying to mount. They split your horse throat, everything, bitch. Yeah, and surround you.
Straight gang.
Man, them niggas was gangster back then, man. Nah, man, them niggas make us look like some hoes. Them niggas they was on 10. They burnt the Mason Lords down. The Indians was in. They burnt that bitch down. Molotov cocktail through there. The Treaty of Chota, the first time they was gonna sign it, they was in the house. So eyewitness say, first everybody was kind of like, damn, we don't know who gonna sign first. The window break. Them niggas hitting shit on the roof. Arrows coming that bitch. What the fuck? Nigga, these niggas done Molotov cocktails in that bitch. Nigga done set that bitch on fire. Meeting over with, show over with, nigga. We gotta go, nigga found us. Nigga know we in this hole. So it ain't get signed on the day it was supposed to. Yeah. Them nigga put that nigga set that bitch ablaze.
That's crazy. All right, man. We about to get up out of here, man. Y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe button, like we said. We're gonna be back with another banger. Be sure you show Chief some love on the Cash App. Send it to the BCUBCU first. Try that one. Everybody send them $10, man. Somebody send them 100. Somebody send them 50. Somebody send them 25. Right? Make sure you plug them in, man, for the nice show. It was lit. He came with it tonight. We will be back. And we want to say peace and love throughout the boundless universe to all. Free the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York. Free Larry Hoover. Free Jeff Ford to El Rookie. We send divine love and peace throughout the boundless universe to all. Wadu, Hotel, peace and love, harmony. Good night. Wadu. Never have it been made so clear.